My personal dream was always to have an apartment or maybe a house with a big window and with a really beautiful view. Mountains and maybe some water. This place here, I actually got to experience this. Music is part of nature, it's connected to nature. And nature is maybe the greatest example of beauty and of flexibility. There is no symmetry at all, and this is also something that I try to discuss with my students. It should sound natural, it should sound like a language with the living lines and voices, and not as something mechanical.
I mean, this unbelievable landscape that, we're around, and when you're practicing, you get to look out in the windows, or you have these master classes. I can't help but think that the music that we make here is inspired by these incredible views and landscape and setting that we have. And it's bringing out a different thing in people. This is the first time that we're not cramped in 95-degree rooms, just trying to make it through the lesson without, sweating all over the keyboard. There's really something special here, and I can't quite explain it or describe it, but there's a special energy.
This special little city of Dobbiaco up here in the Italian Dolomites, it has an amazing energy to it. You feel both cut off from the world and connected to it. I remember stepping off the train and realizing, okay, this is where I needed to be at this particular moment, and I'm very grateful to be here.
I am currently in the Dolomites at the Gustav Mahler Cultural Center, and it is the most beautiful place I have ever been to in my life.
Oh, they're doing amazing.
Yeah, having a good time?
I'm having a ball.
That's great.
I'm filled with inspiration and happy to be in such a unique place.
Fantastic.
And I'm happy to have you here.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Exactly. In the previous 2 years, I think that we were just looking for an opportunity to bring the Academy to Europe. And I was very happy to bring it 2 years ago to Villa Medici, Giulini. But after the second year, I knew that we outgrew the place because the Academy became a little bit something else.
It's been a lot of fun to be here, breathing the freshest air possible, known to civilization. Eat great food, teach students, listening to also great recitals of colleagues, having fun conversations, so it's been great.
Daniela Campadello, who's a very dear friend of mine for many years. So she came to Villa Medici and she says, I think that in 1 or 2 years you're going to outgrow the place and I have the place for you. So she told me a little bit about this place and she says, you have no idea, this is where Gustav Mahler spent the last summers of his life. Nature is, you're in touch with nature, everything is so open and the atmosphere is very peaceful and inspirational for all of it. Everybody that came in, they come here and they look at the place and they say, wow. And I wanted to do it because she's the reason why we are here.
Yes.
She's a wonderful musician. She's many things. She's a pianist. She's a pianist. She's a woman of many gifts and a really a woman with a vision.
I'm Daniela Rodriguez Campadello. I am into management, cultural management,
music management, artist management. In last 30 years, I did really many things to classical music, to artists, to musicians. And that is why I'm so moved, because it's the first time that I experienced something like that. And I am so happy to give to all participants the opportunity to listen.
If I had to say I learned one thing from this festival, it's that you can be a lot more free with music, and that it's not just contained to what's in the score and what, maybe a teacher will tell you, or, what your curriculum will tell you, that you're allowed to be personal and explore more. Because before I was I felt like I was in a box more, so my playing was a little bit generic, I think.
There is no competition, everybody's friendly, everybody's open. I make sure when I invite artists that there are those kinds of people. I'm interested in those that love young people and they want to inspire the next generation. So basically this is a very special place where we all love music. It's about music. It's about nothing else. In my vision, what I want to provide them with a home. This is really a home for all of them. This project, this festival, this academy belongs to each one of them.
My name is Pablo Valero. I'm the program director of the Miami International Piano Festival and its academy. I make sure the ideals from our artistic direction and board happen in reality. So I take charge of many different logistic parts of the academy.
How can I talk about Pablo Valero? He's just a blessing in my life, that's all I can say. And I think that from day one, he understood this project. I love him because he's so intelligent, he doesn't speak much, he's very sensitive, he doesn't overstep anything. But yet, there's this intensity when he works and this panoramic vision. He can do anything. He's like what can I say, one of a kind, really.
The big part of the success of the festival is the people that works in the backstage. We have an amazing team of coordination, of technicians, and also creatives.
Who am I? Oof. Well, formerly a flutist. I started as a musician, got into productions. Originally from Israel, now living in Berlin. We focus on classical music, video productions. Yeah, and currently I'm serving as let's call it video producer in the Miami Festival this third year. I received this phone call from Giselle Brodsky, and we had this very long conversation, this typical phone call with Giselle, which lasts for 2 hours. You have to speak to Pablo Valero. He's my right hand, and he's a genius, this guy. You will love him, he's amazing. And shortly after that, I speak with Pablo Valero. And we also have quite a prolonged conversation. And it was very ambitious, and I was thinking there's no chance they can deliver this, this is over the top, this production, that production, here, Belgium, Germany, and we want to do, but man, you executed everything, you delivered everything, this was it's very ambitious, but you literally made that happen.
My name is Agustin. I used to be a oboe player, and I became to be part of this festival 2 years ago, thanks to Pablo. I help people to be comfortable. I record concerts, I make photos. Miami International Piano Festival is a paradise for a musician, not also for a pianist. I'm not pianist, and also it's a paradise for me.
meeting people, nice people. Talent comes number 2, just working with people who care, who are devoted, and who together want to create great stuff. That is probably the greatest pleasure, to create things with good people.
So you are in for quite an amazing experience, and this is quite a piece of heaven here, a real paradise for all of us.
This year, the festival turned 25 years old. You could even say that the main mission of the festival since its beginnings was to help artists find their paths, but also to help them promote their own career. That is why we started the Profiles of the Miami International Piano Festival project, in which we are portraying in video each one of the artists that passed by our festival in these 25 years, by both having an interview with them, a very honest conversation, and also we hear them play one of their most beloved pieces.
Music is as essential part of the world as anything, as air, as earth, as vegetation. It's just a part of all of the ecosystem.
I think that this project is one of its kind. It also has this kind of TV show charm that makes you want to see more. Yeah, it's something that we are really proud and we cannot wait to show the world.
We live in a very noisy world, oversaturated with junk, nonsense, and a good recording performed by good musicians is actually necessary. TikTok, Instagram, it's so full of junk, right? And quality content is absolutely necessary. So a good recording can generate a lot of exposure for those who actually need it and deserve it. If, for example, someone random watched one of these documentaries, right, and that led that person to come to this academy, and that person then benefited from this academy, which I'm pretty sure they do, all of them, right? Then yeah, this is where these productions are helpful. So that's a great example. It's not always musical performances, but also just this communication of what is Miami Festival, who's Pablo, who's Giselle.
Oh, Giselle Brodsky. My relationship with Giselle and Jacques goes back to a quarter of a century, which is unthinkable, but that's the way it is, yeah. And we had great fun.
Giselle is one of the most nurturing, most supportive people I've ever worked with. I studied with her many years ago and she really freed me up technically. She gave me all kinds of tools for dealing with music and for dealing with technical problems, and I feel really indebted to her for that.
She's a wonderful woman. She's the soul of this festival. She creates something it will be impossible to be destroyed.
She's an incredible force of nature, a music lover, someone who, I guess, loves music so deeply that she makes anything happen no matter what the obstacles may be in other people's head. They don't exist.
You know, Giselle, she's planting seeds and nourishes these plants as they grow over the years and years and years until this fantastic garden of talent emerges from that. Obviously a very special person.
I know Giselle Brodsky since 2000 actually. I know her from the very beginning when she wanted to found the piano festival in Miami, and she had already many ideas of how it should be. So today, after like 25 years actually, it's incredible. It's incredible to be here together doing this thing in this place.
Here we get to meet with wonderful friends and colleagues. For us as pianists, it's actually a very important experience because most of our life we are just alone. And we don't have much opportunity to exchange or to learn from each other.
Each and every one is special and unique in the truest way. You know, Ilya Itin is one thing, Misha Dacik is another thing, Yosu the Salan is a completely different thing, Daniel Lebhardt is a completely different thing. I mean, everyone is an entire universe. There's nothing mainstream about this. You know, some are more famous, some are less famous, but that is completely irrelevant because they're all unicorns. I think this is what defines the festival. It's a pool of tremendous talent.
That feels like it's a tasty soup with a lot of pianists, like a pianist soup. And I like it a lot.
Is it a tasty soup?
It's very tasty soup.
Then we're all happy. Great.
I just think we should think about who is which ingredient.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What is Reed?
Carrot? Would you like to be a carrot?
Yeah, I'm honored. I'm honored to be a carrot. It sounds like
I'm sort of. I see you as a sort of a pumpkin.
Wow, I like it.
This is a very orange soup.
Yeah. I just thought maybe it's Russian. I should be potato.
Potato.
Fantastic. Do I have any chips in my mouth?
It doesn't matter. We look at your hair.
I had an amazing experience from the beginning to the end. I'm actually quite sad to leave. I'm leaving tomorrow, and I feel like I've been in this sort of mystical bubble of amazing music making, and sort of a human connection with the whole group. It was like kind of like entering a family, and on one side I'm sad, on the other I'm very happy that I got to experience that.
It really doesn't feel like, they're students and teachers. I mean, we sit together at meals, we have conversations with our teachers as friends, and we look to them for both musical and personal guidance. I'm trying my best to articulate the magic that this festival is, especially here, but I can't find the word, but there's some magic here.
So this week, a day-to-day would start very early, I think, for me. I used to get up at 7, that was crazy. So there were daily lessons, sometimes 2 per day, which was a little bit unusual for me, but I liked it. It was really refreshing. And then after the lessons, I'd usually have lunch, because mine was right before lunch. And after lunch, I'd go practice again, and then I'd attend the masterclass or the lecture, whichever one. Then dinner, and then the nightly concert. And so really my days were just music, then eating, then music. So, yeah.
I've had many experiences. For example, last week we had Ilya Itin's recital, and the way he produces such an enormous and high quality sound on the piano for me, it was very, very dramatic, you could say. The reason why I live, I think, I may have realized that a little bit late in my life, but now I realize that I could not live without music in my life.
When we approach music, it's a little bit like, black magic. But there's so many different aspects to actually playing an instrument like the piano. What I try to focus on is to encourage the students to really dig deep into the score and give each note they play a purpose. In every piece you play, there's a certain ecosystem that is unique to that one piece, and you have to sort of decide the sort of hierarchy and structure of the notes to find a way also to make the piano speak and sing.
I love to make the piano to sing. I'm Giorgio Manni, I come from South Italy, and I'm born like a pianist, but I decided to become a tuner. My profession is it's artistic profession. It's not only something mechanical. I help pianists to make arts. I try to hear how the touch that kind of pianist has, and I try to figure out which sound could be better. I help to transform the ideas in the perfect sound of music.
Another thing that we offer to the participants is a huge amount of lectures. The main goal of this is to inspire or to stimulate their curiosity. You know, the presence here of Bruno Mont-Saint-Jean, the film director, I think that was a real present for the participants to share, time with them.
When you make a documentary, you have to feed the documentary with music, and the only way to feed it with music is to actually film some performances complete, and possibly with the help of a concept of the way you want music to appear on the screen. I feel that music can be sabotaged by the presence of camera, and conversely it can be enhanced. The perception of music can be greatly enhanced by the visual aspect of music.
Igor Gutman was the concertmaster of the Florida Philharmonic. He was in Miami for a long time, and we are like instantly, we understood each other. And we always talked about, the academy, of doing things in a different way. I said, I want to plant the seeds for a chamber music program. It goes hand in hand with what we do. The sense of community, listening to others, not just playing the piano for yourself. Being aware that there is a world out there. When you do chamber music, it's like the connection of souls. I really feel that it's very, very important.
To play chamber music, it's a collaboration. It's few people who probably meet sometimes each other for the first time, share the love for music.
Chamber music also allows them a window into a different kind of music. It opens up the door into the world of such personal, intimate feelings that symphonic music or most of the piano or solo violin repertoire do not allow.
The festival and its academy have massively grown in the last 4 years. Our snowball has started rolling. So what I see for the very near future is both internationalization, but also a larger impact in our community back in South Florida.
What we are going to do next year is going to be totally different to what we're doing today. But that's the beauty of it. We don't have rules and regulations. This place is not for that. It's interesting because when you have a vision, but you don't know how to make it happen. How can you realize that vision? But I've learned in life that you walk the walk, and somehow the opportunities open themselves, and the path becomes clearer. So I think that the path for me, as well as for everybody, I think is clearer now.